Kinetic Carl here in my super secret Kinetic Lab of Wonders, back on the old 1966 Barracuda project. Have been having it run for a while, but as running it, stirs up all the other little things you got to deal with. So amongst carb cleaning, rebuild, freeze plug popping, failing, and let's see what else, fractured fuel line that would splurt fuel when the fuel pump, it was on the, after the pump, between the pump and the carburetor. So got that replaced on, and yeah, so got the wheels back on her. She's all aired up. She's still up on block, so this video is pretty much going to be me attempting to bring her back down onto all fours and then firing up. It was running fine before, just had a lot of little leaks and janky things going on, so kind of dialing it in and bring it on the rest of the way. So I'm going to open the back door and see how much, if that's just too crazy much light, we'll find out here. Oh, that's not too bad. There's a little bit of bright light at the back, but it's not like dominating the picture. Here, let's pan just a little bit more over. I think that'll do her. Sorry, everything's in backward mode. This way I can see what my camera's seeing. If I do the flip round, I've spent hours doing fun stuff and then realized I was staring at the wall, or you didn't get to see the best bits. So yeah, let's see what we got here. I'm gonna attempt to, yeah, everything's out from underneath. I do see one wood block in the center left over from when I was doing all the transmission install. Get that guy out of here. Here is a cardboard box of parts. Otherwise, the concrete just has some dirt and some guff left over from. Oh, I see a bottle jack. Something there. It's a 273 V8 Commando engine. In fact, here, well, this will light up the engine compartment here. See how that, does that help brighten up the Commando? Yeah, a little. You can see the air intake thingy do bobber. Got her all spiffied up in there. That right there. And these are just protectors to keep me from messing up the veneer of paint on this old beast. And there was a bottle jack. Oh, I saved you the air compressor rumble and all that. So she's set down. Shouldn't have that interrupt the video. And there we go. Air's out of the way. There's the bottle jack. Right there. A box of arts, extra Plymouth arts. We'll just put them both over under the Hoosier Daddy is a 10 pilot kinetic sculptor. For those who are wondering, what is that thing on the side there next to the Plymouth? Shall I point you over there just for a sec, let you get a... The wheels are off of the Hoosier Daddy because one would be right here and there would be no room to get the human through the gap. But this stuffed animal's hanging on the Hoosier Daddy. I'll give you a little more view. But you'll see this is all bicycle stuff in here. And that's because this machine is human powered. This is the front bumper with a bunch of, it's being used as a shelf right now to store tools because the main project is the Plymouth Barracuda. I'm just going to bring this reel down low because most of the work I'll be doing will be down around this. I'm going to do my best to convince my little Jack to lift this Barracuda. But I think I'm gonna have to bring it down in steps, because if I put this block on here so I can lift it, once she's down all the way, I can't get the jack out because she's still sitting on that. So I'm gonna bring her down a notch or two and we'll set her on some jack stands. I think I have another set in the other barn with my VW. So let's just take in the view here without me blabbing. I'll be right back. One of these will be enough. Find the right height. Don't be too tall. Give us this one. Yep. Right like that. Helps if you close the valve, Carl. Oh, here. We'll move the coffee table. It's actually not holding any coffee. Don't break it. Can't stand it. But I guess we still call it a coffee table. Just a rock star table means it sounds like somebody's going to get up on it. Of course they could. It's strong enough. It holds up a connected sculpture. Okay, so my plan is to lift her up partially, get some of that blocking out of there. I can figure out how to use my equipment here. Don't want to push on the oil pan. I'm trying to get, yeah, I'm not anywhere there. There's a cross member here that I can push up on. And I think we have lift off. Okay, so we have liftoff. I believe you could probably even see that in the video. I'll see it later when I watch replay. So now, see what blocking I can shift on out of here. Oh yeah. We are in the airs. I know that looks hollow, but it actually is. Somebody just did some clever filling. I think this was like an old post in a house or something. Blocking under the tail end, I'm debating. The owner of the vehicle has a rebuild kit for the suspension. Kind of toying with maybe putting the sway bar in the back. I'd rather give her a drive though and turn it around. I want the working end to be not at the garage door, but the shop end. So I think, yeah, we'll just set it up with the wheels. See if we get her turned around proper. Plus, that isn't going to be high enough anyhow to do what I need. So now I'm going to set it down on that jack stand tipper, or at least so I can get my add-in block removed. So now we will let some pressure out. And we should have descent. That's a decent descent. We're on our stand. And out comes block. Then I think we still have to use a block. I'm not really check though. I think I can't remember. This jack isn't it's for a small car, not a V8. You know, mid-size, whatever. I think it just gets her. Definitely clear the oil pan. And now we put it into lift mode. We have liftoff. All right, and now we go into descent mode. I am smelling motor oil. That's the only descent. And there we have the Plymouth sitting on her actual wheels with the tail end up on blocks still. So now I'm going to move around. And the reason I open the garage door is I need to be able to get into back there to get that tail end lifted up. This jack seems to have got a little issue on that. I think they put the washer on the bolt, and the washer's supposed to be on the nut. There's some hardware. This is an inherited ladder from the uncle. And all I did, he said it wouldn't work. It didn't have any hydraulic fluid in it. I think when it came, it was shipped empty. He didn't know it because it was brand new in the box, hardly been used. He said he could never get it to work. It didn't have the oil when I got it. I put oil in it, it was fine. Unless he took the oil out when he sent it to me. Ship or got here by vehicle. Nose sticks underneath just a smidge. You'll see this red car go by. That's my little red scent mode, and we have a scent. I think we have liftoff. Turn quickly here. I think I see my wood blocks moving around. Still pressure. Wow. What the heck? Oh, I see. The jack's coming. You know, it sweeps in an arc shape. I'm seeing stuff going on back there. As the jack goes up, it describes, as the jack goes up, it describes an arc. And so I saw the car coming toward me and I'm like, is it falling over? No. So it's just the front wheels are down on the ground so they can roll. And so the whole car kind of, as I'm lifting it up, because I'm going so crazy high in the air, the jack is not just going up, it's coming toward me a little. But now, we've got the left blockage out. And then we get the right blockage out. Yeah, no pressure. Check for all clear. No missing sockets. Actually, I'm not missing any sockets anyhow, but I think the Plymouth is looking pretty down by the bow right now. Now it's just going to come down by the stern, and we'll see how my dialing in of the front torsion bar is met. Plus, I got to do a measurement for the toe and the wheels. So now theoretically, she's going to come towards you as she comes down, or my jack will come back toward me gradually. Looks like a little of both. And technically, on her own wheels, jack, you know, make it tiny. She's got tricks in that she's tiny. She can get under a lot of stuff. So, let's see how I did on that. I think I got the air pressure close. Wow. After so many, it's been a couple of years way up in the air like that. It is so funny to see her down in the front. I think I really did relax those front springs a bit. There's adjustments under there, so it's not like we can't change her. But yeah, I gotta look from the side. I'm so used to seeing it nose up for so long. The nose down is just a bit of a shock. Now, of course, after all that lifting, probably give her a jiggle, make sure she's, yeah. And those are the same shocks as before on the front. I think the tires are still a little mushy, but wow, she's gonna look, yeah. Yeah, not bulging too crazy. All right. Just got a load of stuff on top. Let's just give you a gander with all is clear, no tools. Check along the hinge. I see some just one last sweep. Oh yeah, the fender guards, those got to come off. We'll give you the full effect here. These are simply an airline, one of those wool airline blankets on a 4-foot garden stick. It's just a really simple, and they have these little accents here that just work perfect. I think those are supposed to break the air and help to induce a laminar flow on the side of the car. You know, they were aircraft improvements at the time were being tried out on cars. I just want to make sure after all that time, I'm just going to close her gentle. I don't want to give her any grief. Oh yeah, I think I have an interference issue. Can't remember if this has a hood release or not. I think this one, I think this predates. I don't know why, I did take the hood off during install, so I think I got my hinges messed up. Boy, it has been so long since I opened this, I can't remember what my trick is. All right, why can't I find you? Get the flashlight out. Yeah, that's crazy. There's a little, I never even knew that was there. Didn't even look up in here that hard. How'd I open it the first time? Oh heck. Rear view. Rear window. Oh. Window. What? That's a hatch? No way. You gotta be kidding me. No. I think that's a locker. Oh, I give up. That's his wiper. That's his lights. This. Oh, I think I just messed up. There's no cable or handle or nothing in here. Okay, folks, what did I do wrong? Is it the emblem? For the life of me, can't remember. I thought there was a. Oh, there it is. Found it. Right there. I knew I had it open before. before. All right, so double check the track. Didn't leave a wrench. I think when I opened the door, oh yeah, see, I don't even have it tight. That's it. Yeah, because I was thinking I might be removing it again. Okay, so I gotta tighten down the hood. I don't think I'll be removing it. Let's just get it tight in place where the paint, shadow matches. What's going on? Oh, good one, Carl. Yeah, that's why we make magnets on a stick. And where is my magnet on the stick? Oh, beauty. Way to go. I wonder if I can just reach it. It's gone forever. Oh yeah, it's found a void. But found another connector. Looks like it's been not connected for ages. What the hell? Alright. I think I can get a limb in there. Alright, I know I had one. Did I? Should be stuck on something here. Looks like a ballpoint pen. Oh, maybe it back in here? It was borrowed in here. Who's your dad? Well, just using it. Be right back. Magnet on a stick. I borrowed it to do something in the house. I think maybe fetch the floor register key out of the floor register after it got dropped in the home. Oh, this wrench has managed to get itself wedged. Surface to stick to get enough lift on that wrench is heavy. Oh boy. Yeah, just not quite enough to get her off. That's the bottom. I see daylight coming through, but it's just a crack. Oh boy, not enough magnetic oomph. Where? Oh, I think my more powerful one's at the auto place where I work. Let's see what we can do. About. This is a. Oh yeah. couple of really powerful magnets. This thing works, but I'm going to have to invent something here. Because it's got to go in a slot. Let's see, Gorilla Tape. What? There's no, oh, I probably haven't raced for a while. Borrowed it right off the sculpture. So, oh yeah, that's always good for a magnet. Okay, so plan B, electrical tape. What I've got is a fiberglass rod here. Got my now furry magnet because it just landed on the shop floor. And a little bit of electrician's tape. I can get one orbit on. I might be able to make it work. Of course, the magnet is probably going to get stuck on the car body. Wish I had some Gorilla Tape. Can't believe that the only tape I found was like the end of a roll. Tape. I thought I had regular tape. There should be a white roll. Thought I. Ooh, about time. To make it easier to see in the down in the crevice there. The yellow tape. Try to avoid sticking to the car. Get my wrench back, and then we get back to adjusting the hood, which will allow me to see what I'm doing when I'm driving. And here we go. Should hear a lot of clank. Put that stick right there. Okay. I think I got. Let's see it. Huh. This is making great TV, I'm sure. Magnet is good at sticking to the car. Oh, I'm the wrong spot. Make one somehow. Yeah, had it for a second. Finally got contact. Let's go. I'd have to go fishing with a wire. Once the wrench becomes magnetic, then it has to stick to the car. That was a fail. All right, got another plan. That's why God invented tie wire.
pardon my head being in the picture. And in your view, of course, you can't see down here anyhow. Okay. So, that gradual curve. We haven't even gotten to the will it start part. Originally took the car on as a clutch replacement job, is what it was going to be. But as I started to try to get to the clutch, I realized that the whole engine had to come out, because the way they packed a V8 into a body which normally would fit the Slant 6. So there was not enough room to get there wasn't enough room to get the transmission out, let alone the bolts, because the bolts would hit the firewall before they'd come out. And I tried lifting and twisting and turning, but there was too much length to the bolts to be able to escape their prism. Just as I gave up, I managed to hook it on the way out. Okay, so my hook is a little too open. Just gotta close it a little. Yeah, I got it stuck in the spot again where it doesn't give me much path for hooking it. Come on now, get yourself hooked on that little wire. Close the hook though, so the problem is it gives me less hooking power. Oh, thank God. That was like, oh yeah. Okay. I tried to count my chickens way too early. Hopefully, and the problem is the wrench has got the open end up instead of the open end down. Hopefully, I haven't looked yet, but hopefully the wrench flipped around, because trying to catch the open end is you have to get behind the head, and then of course the head's all rounded off, so it's hard to hook to without letting go. No, we're still same orientation. So, but at least it's on top of that. It's no longer in that crux that it was stuck in before. But it could get, let's not go there, but there's a potential it could go right back to that problem. At least it's steadying up so I can rotate and hook on it, and we're dragging on myself before. Part of the problem is I'm on the end of a long, thin wire. It takes a lot of gumption to keep it pointed right. Oh yeah, don't you get a finger on? Oh, I was so close. So close. Okay. Let's try that again. Need to make a little hook pocket so that once it's in, it can't turn around and then just drop right out. That's what it's doing. Right as I get to the opening, it knocks around in the opening and then turns its little, at least it's stuck on that nice high spot. Okay, let's try that again. Easy now. Easy. Easy. The light got hit. I'm shooting in the shadows here. Okay, there, now I can see my little wire. down, everybody. At least I got the mouth of the hook on. Gotta get to the safety spot. Now, theoretically. Okay, not going back with that. I'm gonna go with a package. I'm gonna go with a socket set. So the next time I drop something down, that'll be the little socket came off, and that magnet will pick up that easier. But yeah, and hopefully that won't come off because the socket set I'm gonna use is a really good gripping rod. And half inch. Okay, so back to tightening the hood. Get the paint shadow matched up. Yeah, to get in order to get the engine out with the cherry picker, it needed to be right over. And I had, especially when putting the whole engine and transmission back in, when I pulled it out, I pulled out the engine and then I pulled out the transmission. I was hoping to just take the transmission off, but no, there just wasn't enough room. So I got the bolts all loose that coupled them together as best I could, pulled the engine and left the transmission behind, pulled the engine this way just a little bit so I could get the rest of the bolts to transmission undone. And boy, were they hard to turn. Once you start sliding off, then everything gets a little askew. But I was able to get those off, pulled out the engine, then pulled the transmission after that, and then worked on everything. And then while I had it all out, I think there's other videos that will show it all being cleaned up in there and just made look nice and pretty. Okay, so let's get this side enough cheddar check. This one's easier because the other side's already pulling it up. Bring her in. And then we'll test on that closure. Now, I'll try to put in memory banks where that silly hood release is. That's just, I guess that's anti-theft. I mean, unless the thief really stares at the front end long enough and notices something pointed at him. These were little shields for when I pulled the hood. I already pulled the one off that side, forgetting what I'd done. Gotta remember when I started this project, it was shortly after I'd been diagnosed with colon cancer, was dealing with radiation and chemo and all of that. And so some of my memory on this is a little, yeah, there we go. I think you have to, yeah. That is a Plymouth Barracuda with a pile of crap on top. That's the next thing, is removing that pile of crap. Yeah. Paint shadow brought that in. Yeah, right on the money for elevation. Love these little child's, toddler seats from elementary school, auction or whatever. I think I paid $1 for the 2 of them back in New Mexico. I do believe I gave the school way more than $1 though. But they had the buck marked on them. And then we have, this is all the ignition stuff. I think I'm just going to put that in the back and drive around with it in the back. Kind of hanging out, being ignition stuff. There's a bunch of parts back there. This we were going to use to get it all timed in, but I'm not using points and rotor right now. I've actually got an HEI in this, so this little old school computer, I don't know if I really need to use. It would be a whole other video on that. And a roll of brown paper. That's always handy for protecting stuff. And let's dig down to the ply mouth. Some of my crawl pads. We're just gonna put that down here. More crawl padding. Zote foam. Stole it from the Connecting Sculpture. And looks like we've got a green tarp and a bunch of floor. All the remnant and extra materials for engine rebuild, old timing chains, sprockets, and yeah, head gaskets. All the replaced ons go. I like to hang on to all that stuff. It's nice to show it's nice to show the owner what internals were happening. These are extra body parts, so I'm just gonna go have a little storage area in the side. I'm just gonna hike these over to the storage area. He has changed up, the owner of this has changed up the front end appearance and taken the actual Barracuda front is not on it. That's I believe a Valiant or some derivation on the front grille that's not actually stock, but I think it looks good. Just realized I don't have the other barn open, so this will just go on the bench for now. Roll up, have all the floor mats out. They were folded up and some were still in the car. A fair amount of them were just kind of folded up and jammed in a box. So I used them to protect the windows as well as to be able to lay out flat for a while. Rolled up isn't so bad, it's not tight, but basically use them to protect the windshield and the rear window whilst I was doing all my painting. So, and of course the top of the car. So you're going to get to see, actually this one, oh, a little folded out all the way, but it's good. Here, you know what? We'll leave this one on top of the hoop so it can relax there. And now, the unveiling. I think I'll WD-40 that door. Get this rolled up first. Isn't she pretty? I mean, the owner's not too thrilled about her colors, but I think they're classic. Let me get the box of junk out of the window so it has a cleaner appearance. A little dirty. I gave her a very short bath before we put her, you know, the day we put her in this shop, I had her out in the alleyway and don't have a running water out there, but I brought a bucket of water and a rag and kind of air hosed her off first and then gave her a bath. I think it'll be a little noisy, but let's try something here. Let's see how foul. This may be maybe a horrible idea because it'll probably just send dust everywhere. I can't find the air gun anyhow, so that saves us that. Oh no, here I found it. I'm going to put the magnet stick away. Let's see if there's any air left over from doing the toyers. I may actually just give the fronts another shot now I can see what they're up to. Not enough air. Never mind. I think I bled the tank and let a lot of water out, so we'll just call it good. It's good. It can get a bath. I think I'm gonna roll the little red moped. That's that red nose thing. Maybe you'll see it go. I'll roll it by and get it out of the way. I'm ready to try a cold start without priming and see if she'll fire up. She has a little fuel in the tank. Here, check out the little red moped as it goes by. And let's see. Oh, that was the Star Wars key. Okay, here goes. It's been, a week or more. So let's see if I can find that cool little thing. There we go. Then this. Hello. Alright, so we'll give her a little sip. The fuel line from the fuel pump to the carburetor was bone dry because I just replaced on it. So let's give her a drink down the snout. And maybe here, I'm going to try my best to. This should be the fuel pump side. The accelerator pump, they only have a single. I'm not sure if it just runs off of one float. I tried looking at the plumbing of the carburetor when I had it apart to see if the fuel accelerator pump thingy, if it sips off of both float bowls or just one. I think it just sips off the one it's next to. That would be there'd be a cross passage for that to happen, I'm pretty sure, for it to sip off both. And it has a float in each chamber, so the chambers don't have cross plumbing. So let's see what that does. So she wants to try. Let her drink on some more. All this trickling water, I gotta go pee soon, so we'll have a little pause while doggone. I can see fuel dripping over by the fuel pump. Dadgummit. That's a fresh fuel pump and line. I gotta look at it from below. See what part of it is doing all the leaking. She's much lower now. Right where my line goes in. I wonder. So I gotta get a couple of wrenches and give her a little torque. And hope that it isn't a cracked. That's a brand new fuel pump. It shouldn't be doing this. Brand new fuel pump, brand new line going to the brand new fuel pump. So, yeah. Who knows? So, seems like it was fine until I ran it for a while, and then things started to point themselves out as not being happy. This is one of them. I've given that a tightening. I don't see it stopping. Still forming a drip. How is this possible? Is it the wrong? I wonder if the, I wonder if that's meant to take a different fitting? I don't know. We're gonna try, check the base is tight. It's always fun trying to tighten something on a Plymouth, because it seems like the engineers on Plymouth had some crazy different wrenches than I have, because I'll tell you, there's just no getting on some of these. Another dilemma I have is I've been having to double check, do all my tightening with a torque wrench, because I myself am reduced in power and can never really tell if I'm over tightening or under. Well, I don't think over tightening is a problem, but I'm pretty sure if I didn't use a torque wrench, I'd be under tightening, because my arm says, "Oh, that's got to be it," and then the torque wrench says, "No, you had to go more." And so, yeah, so there'll be some tightening I have to do again on the suspension, because there's parts of it you don't tighten until the whole thing's setting on our wheels, because there's some snubbers and stuff that if you tighten them while everything's hanging, then as the weight comes down, it actually takes the rubber and keeps it in a permanent twist, which is hard on them, and that's why a lot of suspension members break, because they get tightened while they're not holding weight. So let's see what that. I gave her a drink, right? Let's see if I can figure out what she's doing today. Oops, missed it. I think that was just running off of whatever I spritzed it with. So here, I'm going to give her a drink again. Checking the fuel filter. It's showing fuel in it, so I think she's pumping now. I'm going to give my leak a look. I don't see any more drip happening. I think that it was cancer elbow to blame. Well, I don't have cancer in my, well, I have cancer everywhere, I suppose. When you have it in your colon, you basically have it everywhere. And it can go anywhere it wants in the damn body. So anyhow, I'm going to just say that, yeah, my weakened self. Okay, a little drink in the snout. Let's try putting her air filter on and give her a little drawing power. Plus, I think she'll look complete, and then she'll be happy, and then I'm gonna feel the power of this thing. may have to put a little more petrol in the tank. I probably got 2 or 3 gallons in there. And, you know, I've only got an e-bike. I can't carry a 5-gallon can in my e-bike. So I can bring her a gallon or so at a time. Probably time to bring her another. Okay, turn that key off, Carl. There's a points ignition with that. Or no, actually it's not points ignition, it was. So now if you leave the key on, it's got an HEI. So theoretically it won't leave the coil just sitting there burning hot. I'll be right back. Mother Nature's calling. All right, so now gonna think give her another drink. Oh, yeah. And I am gonna test on my fuel pump. I don't see it leaking. I don't see a drip going on anymore. So this comes off. Let's see, I'm going to break the fuel line first. Or not break, but disconnect the fuel line first. I think I can just do that with this guy right here. Let's just see what we got for. Holy mackerel! Okay, we got fuel pressure, albeit kind of dirty looking. I think the floats are stuck. I thought How could they be stuck? That don't make no sense. I checked those for flow before, you know, back when I had the carburetor off. That whole thing's been cleaned it out. Let's check one other thing. Make sure the accelerator pump has got that going on. Okay, so what do we got? We got squirts. Okay, well maybe maybe she was just coming to. I don't know. Here. There's no other pumps under the car. Gotta have that commando pointing right side up. That'll, you know, knock 5 horsepower off or so right there. Don't want that. Yeah, I see no puddles forming below the craft. All right, let's give her the electrons. Watch that. That could bite my guy. What the heck? How can that not? It just gave 2 live squirts of fuel down the neck. Let's try her again. We're just going to leave that off for a while, I think. Now that choke butterfly, I guess maybe that's it. I had that open. That should, see what that gives. Come on now, show us the love. Teaser. I'm not sure what's going on here. That fuel's under high pressure. It's not like it doesn't have it. Can I reach in here? That's a little weird. I tried whilst sipping. Yeah. It's hard not to honk the horn, sorry. How can we not have... I may have to lift the top of my carburetor and see. Maybe I got... There were two different float bowl gaskets. I could have swore I placed the, the one I had the engine running with over... I placed it over the both versions that came with the rebuild kit, and only put in the one that matched, and put it in, it can go in 180 degrees, or if you flip it top to bottom. The other, if you try to put it in the other way, it won't match up. So I don't get what's going on there. Here, see if I can do this again. And not honk the horn. Oh, I got the horn, yeah.
Runs real nice. As you can see, not smoky, hardly, I mean, it's an overcast day out. Here, let's, I don't know if that light will adjust, but see what happens if I do this. Oh, I can't, nope, can't zoom in or out, so trust me, there's a Plymouth out there. I don't dare move the camera because I think that'll make the picture too jittery. So I'm just going to give a quick cleaning here and, oh no, maybe wheel it back in. I'm a little hesitant to go for a drive up and down the alley just yet. I don't want to get stuck at one end or the other. I need to, before I drive anywhere, I'm going to maybe get a couple more gallons of fuel in there just so I have an insurance policy. And I think the first place I'd drive is over to the gas station, which is about 5 or 6 blocks away. And I want to know she can run consistently and not leave me stuck, because I don't have a rescue vehicle. But yeah, Plymouth Barracuda. All right, real quick cleaning. So pretty much all that remains at this point in the major projects for her is there's a torsion bar that goes in her rear end for that rear axle, anti-sway bar deal. That is going to, I'm going to put all my blocking under the that bar, that sway bar will really give a stiffening to the suspension. I want to give it a look from, well, she is kind of out in an alleyway, so it's kind of hard to tell, but we'll see how much down by the bow she is. You know, that was intentional, was to bring down the nose a little. She was a little nose proud before, and kind of looked odd with this little sweep down on the nose. It should make her look a little racier, even though she's just a kind of a hard milk toast arrangement. Okay, where's my brim? It's been about 2 years since this got swept out. Not too bad. I mean, I did a little sweeping around the sides every now and then, but most of the guff that came off the engine and transmission, that guff removal wasn't done so much over the pavement as over a metal pan, oil drain pan. And all that guff got thrown in the oil waste bin. Since probably made its way back to becoming a dinosaur. Cleaned up here. I'll have to make a really short video version of this, because there's going to be times where folks just want to see the drive out, not all the lead up. It wouldn't be an authentic part. The Will She Run video was a long time ago when we hauled her out of the storage unit. Shortly after that was the Will She Run, and she started right up. Although several cylinders were not firing because their spark plugs were both fouled and the points were kind of skippy, and the vacuum advance had some slop in it. So yeah, so when we did our Will She Run, she ran, but she was a coughing and a sputtering and carrying on. And ran off of a float bowl full of fuel. That's always, there was
no working fuel pump on her at that point in time. Her fuel pump had long bled out. So we'll just get all this out into the alley. Sorry. I'm spraying my Barracuda with dust. A lot of this is just from the alley. The gravel, I planed it back, but normally there's a little step off the pavement, and the pavement actually was a step down. So to get into the alley, you had to go uphill. So I planed that off about, I was thinking at least a month ago, I was going to do a rollout. But that didn't pan out because of all the freeze plug and all that stuff failing. So I'm gonna try to start her up and bring her on in. Let's see if it'll do it both ways without a prime. Right on. So now I'm gonna stop this video and make a little short video to pipe around the internets, because an hour plus long video is just a little too much. And I'm gonna try to do it in non-reverse as well, which is gonna be a whole nother challenge. Thank you. Kinetic Carl here in my super secret Kinetic Lab of Wonders, feeling jazzed because the Plymouth just moved under its own power and the brakes work.